Hey everybody, welcome back to Marvel Multiverse, and today we are reviewing the Marvel Legends What If Zombie Captain America. I really want to do this review. I think this figure is very cool. I've taken a look at him already, and just outstanding how the detail is. But before we do that, I have two things I want to share. So first, we're going to do some shout outs. So we have TBVR-17Z, Tris Wolf 13255, Lincoln Gaming 5287, Jeff James 11 whatever that is W, Repeat Drock. Yeah, so those are the people that I'm giving a shout out today. Those are the people from last time. So thank you for watching. If you want to get if you wanted to get a shout out, just make sure to subscribe and like the video. But yeah. So we're reviewing the Zombie Captain America, and then look what I just found in the mail. So we have the very old Marvel Legends, what is this, like gray Deadpool, the Uncanny X-Men Deadpool. Like this is where he got blown up or something. So yeah, I have this figure. I'll review him next week because I'll just kind of be off this weekend, you know. But yeah, great figure. I just got it in the mail, and I really am excited to review it. So we'll put that to the side though. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and review Zombie Captain America. So on the front, you can see the figure with all of his accessories. His only accessory is a shield. And then it says Marvel Legends series on the top. What If Zombie Captain America, Marvel Studios, by Disney Plus. And then it's a Build-A-Figure for the Marvel's Watcher up there. It's made by Hasbro, as you can see on the side. And then, let's just zoom out just a little bit. All right. And then on the side of the box, you get like some art of the Marvel Zombie Captain America. So some good art. Looks cool. On the back, here's like another art picture of him. And yeah, that looks pretty good too. Let's bring this up. And then we do have something to read on the back. So right here, Marvel Legends series, Zombie Captain America. Captain America's team were the first responders to the zombie outbreak and its first victims. Tough. And then here is the Build-A-Figure that this wave is trying to build. So we have Zombie Captain America, T'Challa Star-Lord, Marvel's Captain Carter, Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. I will try and get that one soon. I just don't think I need it right now. And then Doctor Strange Supreme, Heist, Nebula, and Marvel's Sleeve. I think I said that right. But yeah, those are the figures that come in this series. I will try and get this one. I don't know if I should get anybody else, so I think I'll just do Spider-Man. All right, and yeah, that's it for the box, really. Let's go ahead and open it. So, like I said, okay, this side's taped. Like I said, I got this 2 days ago, somewhere around there. And yeah, I right away took a look at it. I got it out of its box. And yeah, the detail on this is outstanding. Like, they put a lot of effort into this. So, let's go ahead and bring this down about right there. Let's put this paper to the side. We don't need to give shout outs anymore. Okay. That popped out kind of crazy. All right, but yeah, just look at this detail. So we're going to go ahead and look at the detail and the articulation at the same time. But yeah, just right away, the head sculpt. That looks crazy. So he has his like wide eyes. His like cheeks are getting ripped on his like where his mouth is. So you can see it's pulling apart right here from the side angle. And then you can see some blood on his chin a little bit. His like chin strap is broken because his mouth has just became so powerful. And then you can actually see the detail of where the chin strap connected right there, that little brown part. Yeah, so the wide eyes, the crazy open mouth. Yeah, they didn't do bad of detail on that. And then they even made like the Avengers symbol on his helmet and the, what are those, like little flags or something on his helmet, like look like they're rusted. So yeah, the detail on this is crazy. And then he's a zombie, so he's kind of bluish turquoise because he's not regular pale, kind of like orange as a human anymore. Yeah, it looks crazy. You could see his rib right there popping out. Looks like he kind of got into a fight right here because his like strap right here is all kind of busted up. And you can see that's a little bit rusted. And then right here, you could see it's kind of ripping apart his suit. Right here on his arm, it's also ripping apart. You could see like a little part in his wrist is a little bloody. And then he still has like one of his like gloves on this hand, on his right hand, but not on this one. This one got completely torn off. This one has like blood marks on his bicep area, kind of like the joint right here. Looks crazy. You could see his rib cage right here. So you can see it right here and then on the back right here. So they're not on like the same area, like that. They're separated. And then got some blood right here where there's the red lines of his suit. You know, very patriotic. Looks like the star is a little bit rusted too. Yeah, you could see the blood coming out of his ribs and it's kind of splattering on his suit just above. Yeah, this detail looks crazy. And then look at his legs. You can literally see right through the figure. So it looks like they might have like drilled a little bit of a screwdriver in through the leg, and then they just made it look like it got ripped open and stuff. You could see his bone. That's what's crazy. You could see his bone in his leg. So I think that's very good of detail. I don't think you can really see the bone there. It's just muscle. But yeah, right here you can definitely see the bone. You can kind of see the bone actually from right there. And then yeah, you can still see some of his skin, the light blue, because it matches with his arms and his face. So you could tell that is skin, not his suit. And that's crazy. The blood splattering. And then he's missing a whole boot on his leg and it's all torn up. This one still looks pretty intact. So yeah, this detail on this is so good. So good. For his head articulation, that's how far his head moves up. And that's how far his head moves down. So it moves a good amount down. I don't think it can move anymore. Yeah, about that much. So it looks pretty good. And then his head moves side to side pretty well. And I feel like even if they messed up on the detail, it would still, you wouldn't even like notice it because he's already looks like he's tattered up all the way. So, tathered up. Did I say that right? Tattooed up? Nah, tattered up. And then his joint makes a good 90-degree angle. His arm, 90-degree angle. And then he moves right here at the bicep area. Bends at the elbow a good amount. And you can see this comes off once you bend his elbow. So, yeah, his elbow bends in a good amount. And then he bends up and down at the wrist area. And then he swivels around right there. Same thing on the other arm. It just looks completely different than this arm. And then instead of an ab crunch, I think it does have the turn. Okay, it doesn't have the turn at the like stomach area right here. But it has this sort of articulation right here. And I think this is the kind of articulation that they use for the girl action figures for Marvel Legends, you know, where they kind of move around right here. So that's kind of interesting how they use that articulation instead of the ab crunch and then the turn at the waist. So let me go ahead and zoom out. Oh my God, already 9 minutes on this video. And then right here at the leg, it moves up about 90-degree angle, just a little bit much. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And then moves right here at the lower hip area, bends right here at the kneecap, and then turns right here at like the calf area, and then bends right here at the foot area. Okay, so yeah, same articulation on his other leg, it's just different. Okay, so yeah, the detail on this is crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and have to give it a 10 out of 10. Like, they actually tried hard on this. So I definitely give them credit for that. Articulation, you know, we'll give it a 10 out of 10 because even though I don't really like this part at the waist, it's still a great figure. You have to give it to him, to Marvel Legends. Yeah, this is just crazy. Let's go ahead and look at his shield. So we'll kind of put him standing right here, and he might fall. We'll take a look at his, yeah, he fell. All right, we'll move him back. Let's take a look at his shield. So look at that. You could see like blood splatter on his shield. It kind of doesn't look like blood splatter. Just looks kind of purple. I guess you could call it blood splatter. It's probably what it is. They just didn't want to make it look like it was part of the shield, so they try to use a different red for the blood. You know, if that makes sense. And yeah, this shield is just crazy. So yeah, very good. You know, you could still kind of very patriotic. And then, yeah, he has the buckles right here on his shield, so he could put it on his arm. And yeah, those are the only accessories he had. I mean, I feel like you could have some more accessories. But for accessories, 7 out of 10, because there's not a lot. I don't know what accessories they would give, though, with this. Maybe just swap out hands, maybe like some fist hands. So, yeah, I think 7 out of 10, because he has a shield. But, you know, you always need accessories with these figures. But, yeah, let's go ahead and put this guy in a pose. So, I'm going to go ahead and do it off camera since it's already 11 minutes on this video. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. All right, guys. I got to say, I think I kind of cooked on this pose. So, let's go ahead and bring the camera up so I think you can see it better. But he's, like, kind of lurching back and kind of just in, like, a expressive pose where he's about to jump or maybe just, I don't know, run away. But yeah, so what I did with the shield was I made it look like with his arm that he wasn't holding it because he's a zombie, so he doesn't really know what he's doing. And then yeah, I just have it kind of like his arm is about to hit somebody. And yeah, I just think the detail looks great on this. Oh my god, I can't stop talking about the detail. But yeah, the detail definitely comes at a big piece of this figure. You know, it really makes it stand out. And that's what I really like about these figures. But yeah, I think that pose looks crazy. You know, it definitely works for this kind of figure, you know? But should we put him on the moving display stand? I'm gonna go ahead and do it. All right, here he is on the moving display stand. And yeah, I just think it looks a lot better. This looks so good. All right, but yeah, guys, I think that's gonna go ahead and end off the video. So if you're new, make sure to subscribe and like this video for a shout out if you saw at the beginning of the video and if you stayed this long. And then go ahead and comment what figure you want to see next. I did say that I'm going to review this figure next, but there's a lot of options, you know? So I don't really know what figure to get it next. I think I do have some idea of what I want to get, but I don't know if I should buy it just yet because I'm going to take a break. But I will be posting on Monday, maybe. Depends on, you know, how I feel, stuff. But yeah, and then go ahead and ring the bell on my channel so you know every time I make a new video. And yeah, guys, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Let me turn him around and...